Join us for our second triple-figured episode this week. What's going to come first, though? 1,500 downloads or the 200th episode? We shall see. We shall see. We are back to our standard programming, but games have been switched around with the SOBS, the 5-point countdown, and Anagram anxiety for your brain-teasing pleasure this week. But now, no more hesitations. Let's go straight on to my groans. Return policies for shoes. You go and buy a new pair of shoes. You wear them indoors as to not get them dirty. Shop says as long as the shoes are not in disrepair, they'll take them back. You wear them for half a day outside and they almost fall apart. You go to take them back, the shop says you can't return them. I'm sorry, but clearly your shoes aren't worth it. Own up and give me my money back. The hell with reselling them. Get a better product. Overzealous ID checks. Clearly I'm over 21. I'm flattered if you think I'm younger though. I'm older than you, checkout person. You ID'd me for deodorant, but you were gonna let me have the alcohol. I mean, are you high? How about you ID a kid in their school uniform who's trying to buy cigarettes or alcohol? Popcorn shards. I love going to the cinema, and my treat whenever I go is salty popcorn. I can't get enough of the stuff. What I don't look forward to afterwards is the feeling of glass shards in between my teeth. Why don't they find a way to pop the kernel shell off completely or dissolve it in the flavouring coating without affecting the flavours? I mean, that would be brilliant. Once again, groaners, there they go. The groans flying away to their new home within the Groan Zone this week, but it awaits one more. This means the audience groan will be coming later on. Now it's time for the first game this week. It is, of course, the 5-point countdown. Groaners already live, they're chapping at the bit. You at home, groaner, you're listening to this, so clearly you're ready as well. Here we go. Clue 5 for 5 points. I can be fresh or long life. Clue 5 for 5 points. I can be fresh or long life. Go, groaners live. What you got? Give me those guesses. We have milk coming in. Any more, groaners? Any more coming in live? Someone's wrote chocolate. Okay. Someone's wrote orange juice. Okay. Good guesses, good guesses. Any more? Oh, people are typing. A Twinkie. Good guess. Hi to the American groaner who typed that in. Thank you very much. Moving on. Clue 4 for 4 points. I don't just come in bottles. That clue one more time. Clue 4 for 4 points. I don't just come in bottles. What you got, groaners live? What you got? Someone's wrote Yazoo. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's kind of like a flavoured, chocolatey or fruity sort of kind of milkshakey drink. Okay, good guess. Any more before we move on? Moving on. Clue 3 for 3 points. I can be a flavour of sweet. Clue 3 again for 3 points. I can be a flavour of sweet. Come on, groaners. What you got live? Groaner at home, what do you have? Any more guesses? If you got it right at any point, you'll find out later on in the show. But if you got it right, then you've changed to a different answer, and it's wrong. That means you've got to change it back further down the line, and you then get points. If you keep it as the wrong answer, though, you'll get no points. Clue 2 for 2 points. I can also be enjoyed by vegetarians as well as everybody else. Oop, someone's thrown in, right when I was reading that out there, they've thrown in milk as well. That clue again, clue 2 for 2 points. I can also be enjoyed by vegetarians as well as everyone else. Yep, more guesses coming in, more people are typing in milk. Okay, I'm hearing you, groaners, I'm hearing you. And finally, clue 1 for 1 point. I don't just come from cows. Clue 1 for 1 point. I don't just come from cows. Someone's wrote nut milk. Okay, good guess. Good guess. More people typed in milk. Okay, good guesses, Groaners. And stop you right there. You will find out later in the show what exactly the hell I was talking about. We now move on to the age-old question which I've got to ask in virtually every episode. Why oh why? So I sat there browsing on my phone the other day, looking at the news via bing.com. I must have scrolled through the same endless news loops about 8 times before I realised I'd be looking at the same damn things for the last 5 minutes. Doing things when your brain's tired. Why oh why? Moving along straight there with breakneck speed. Deep dive we go, straight into Oh Unlucky! Coca-Cola are this week's Oh Unlucky. They recently released a new, apparently permanent flavour called Coca-Cola Spiced. I'd never heard of it, even though it should be noted that it wasn't spicy at all. They've been forced to pull the product off the shelves due to lack of sales and confusion over the brand name. Oh, unlucky to you, Coca-Cola Company. But, are you feeling lucky though, Groaners, are you? We'll see about that as it's time for Yes or BS. Round 1. The left Hawaii snail round. A. All polar bears are left-handed. Option B. A snail can sleep for 5 years. Or option C. Hawaii has no seagulls. Go Groaners, give me your choices live. At home, pause, have a think, put your answer in, unpause. We have a massive C's coming in there. Any more Groaners? We have A's flying in as well. And B's coming in. Across the board, guesses across the board. Moving along, we go to round number 2. The sentence of truel round. Option A. Gossip and complaining account for 40% of the makeup of most people's conversations. B. A truel is a court term when 3 people must take the stand at once. Or option C. A pangram is a sentence that contains every letter in the English language. At home Groaners, press pause, answer unpause. Groaners live, give me your answers please. We have B's and C's flying in across the board. Anybody else? Nope. B, C, B, C. Yep. B's and C's flying in. Anyone else? Nope. Gonna stop you there, Groaners. Final round. Round 3. The troubling medieval body wash round. That's some old body wash. Option A. Gelatophobia is the fear of body wash and soap. B. A troubling is the name given to a group of goldfish. Or option C. An overmorrow is a medieval word to explain the end of the day when taxes should be paid. Groaners live, answers please. Those at home, press pause, answer unpause. Everyone's thrown their hat in the option of C. Okay, Groaners, whoa, C's. Whoa, okay. Groaners at home, press pause, answer unpause. More C's flying in. Okay, I hear you loud and clear, Groaners live. I hear you loud and clear. Were you right? Were you wrong? Of course, if you're wrong, your points for yes or BS get completely axed in the game. You have 5-point countdown points if you got any, they're safe. But if you got anything wrong after round 1, your points are gone. If you got anything right in the 3rd round, you have a redemption point, but you'll find out later, like I said. Admin Nicole takes us now to that part of the show again. Yes, it's returned again this week, Creepy Corner. Your story this week for episode 101 is called A New Plan. This was it. The end of an era. The old man was dead. Everyone was struggling. Valencia potentially made the worst move she could by antagonizing the ones with the power in their current situation. All they could do was hope for a miracle, or in their case, a power cut. Before they left the mines, the Metal Three sent something similar to them and Valencia encouraged them to find it. This wasn't their fight after all. She knew they'd meet again, would need to make their own paths rather than following her. In that moment, whatever the Metal Three were doing was the power outage turning off the artificial sun. Valencia vowed to come back and give the old man a proper burial, but right now she had to get everyone out of there and swallow them up in a black veil. Coco held Gaia tight, ready to vent her anger. She had no idea where they were, nothing around them but darkness. They couldn't see anything in front of them, minus a tiny flickering candle in the distance. Valencia hurried to run over to it and embrace the inky black figure sitting in his chair, reading by the candlelight. This figure was the darkness. This was the primal force that when Valencia died, she merged with herself. Thanks to their merge, the darkness and Valencia not only became one single being, but the darkness also gained its own form within its sacred realm. Things were close. Glowman is gone. I know you told me no one is to ever set foot in here, but us and the Metal Three. I didn't have a choice. I'm sorry, Valencia explained. The darkness put down its book and looked at Valencia with the hollow sockets it had for eyes. It gave her a reassuring smile with the sharp teeth that emerged from its gaping mouth that terrified Viola and caused even Coco to keep her distance from it. The darkness in truth already knew everything. It was connected to her. Not in the same way she was connected to the Metal Three, but since her death and their merging, they were essentially one and the same person. Yet somehow, they were also separate entities. The merge joined them together in one body, but also gave the darkness a separate body to watch over the sacred realm. This was no doubt to make sure the realm was always protected. Something that would have been difficult with the darkness finally getting a willing vessel. The darkness stood from his chair and towered over even Dread, who in response would position himself in front of Coco and Gaia. The darkness meant no harm. Not right now, anyway. It did, however, agree to make a deal with Death. Death and darkness might be vastly different, but they were both on the same side of things. Lionel wouldn't be happy. He would do anything to get Valencia for himself, even stealing the power from the primal of light. So perhaps a union with Death wasn't such a bad move. When Viola moved forward and demanded to know why the darkness was the one he wanted, the darkness gestured to Valencia to answer and she smiled. Once I merged with the darkness and spent my time as a raven while my mind and spirit were here, I learned everything. Everything that was, everything that will be, everything that is now my job. Who I have to protect, what I can't do. Even the one thing the darkness has that no other primal does. This is what Lionel wants, Valencia explained. When asked about what that thing was, the darkness simply stated to end what had begun. Valencia walked over to Coco and with a heavy heart, she told her she had to leave. Run and just keep running. Coco initially refused, but Valencia wouldn't have it. Lionel hadn't yet realised that Gaia was the new Mother Nature, a brand new primal he could kidnap and raise for his own purposes. He might need the darkness, but nature is a power that can't be tamed, now stuck in the body of an infant. Valencia told Dread that he needed to find somewhere safe for his family. They were stuck here, so he also needed to find Marianne and get her to go to his realm and ask his father for help. She's their only option now. She left the town behind since she had to find her parents. Just once after all these years, she had to make sure they were safe. Valencia asked Viola to go to the realm of Teeth and find the fairies residing there. They needed all the help they would get, and she would go find Death and do what had to be done. Coco and Dread agreed, knowing it may have been the only way to keep their baby safe, but Viola refused. She had lost enough. The old man was gone. The sisters stay together now. No more loss. We will do everything together from now on, she said. Wow. The old man may be gone, but Nicole, you did it, you carried the story on, and you did not disappoint with another well-written story. With Creepy over and out for this week, it's time for one of you to groan out with the audience groan. This week's groan came in from Ian R. of Glasgow, Scotland via email. Hi Mr. Groaner, this is my groan, and this is what really annoys me. I was on my way to work the other day, minding my own business, when all of a sudden, a traffic jam was ahead of me. Being a responsible driver, I slowed down and waited. There was a bus lane to the left of me, and I noticed a white Audi car just pulled into the bus lane just because he thought he could. He was not a taxi or a bus, obviously. Why is it that some people think they're so entitled? Just wait in the traffic like a normal human, just like the rest of us. Many thanks, and keep up the good work. Love the show. Many thanks, Ian. Well, Ian, I don't drive, but I get your point completely. Taxis are, of course, exempt because they're technically not cars. They can go in the bus lane. A bus is clearly a bus, therefore it can go in the bus lane. Dear Audi drivers, unless you are a taxi yourself and you're ferrying a paying customer to work or where they're going, you are not a taxi. Do not have an identity crisis. You're a normal car. You're driving a normal car. Now, to take part like Ian did, you can give us a groan, a why or why, a what the, an unlucky or lucky story, or you can nominate a hero or zero of the week, or give us feedback. To do that, you just do one of the following. Email thegroanzonepod@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook Messenger on Mystery Groaner or Nicole Amos. Find the Groan Zone podcast group on Facebook groups. Join us live at 8:30 PM Greenwich Mean Time on Discord via the Groan Zone Discord group. Or simply drop a comment on any episode and it'll be picked up and featured in a future episode. Cheers, Groaners. Now, for the last game of the week with Admin Nicole's Anagram Anxiety. Yep, she's returned again. Anagram Anxiety back again for this week to melt our minds. Abie adapt Hanoi is this week's clue? No, is this week's anagram, Mr. Groaner? Try that again. Abie adapt Hanoi is this week's anagram. Your clue involves creatures of the feathered variety. All will be revealed next week, Groaners. Good luck. And now, rolling along to our zero of the week. So I went to the cinema last weekend. Was told definitely screen 7 by the dude in the foyer. I was off to see Batman the Dark Knight for his 85th birthday. I went in there with all my sweets, etc., sat down, and suddenly realised something. James McAvoy had never been in Batman the Dark Knight, and most certainly doesn't use a sniper rifle. After much excuses and embarrassment, went back to the guy who said, no, it's screen 10. Mate, you clearly said screen 7. Like I said last week, own your mistakes. Total 0. Just before we stick a bow on the episode and send it, let's reveal those important game answers. The 5-point countdown. The answer, of course, which a lot of people got at clue 5 most likely, was milk. If at any point during that game you wrote milk and you changed your wrong answer, you've got no points unless you change to milk further down the line. Yes or BS? The left Hawaii snail round. A very exotic snail. If you went for option A, all polar bears are left-handed, this is true. If you went for B, a snail can sleep for 5 years, that's entirely false. They max out at 3 years of continuous sleep. That would be perfect for me. I'd love that. Lucky swines. If you went for option C, Hawaii has no seagulls, true. I envy that country. Round 2, the sentence of tool round. If you went for option A, gossip and complaining account for 40% of the makeup of most people's conversations. This is the Groan Zone. It's bloody false. It's actually 80%. If you went for B, a truel is a court term where 3 people must take a stand at once. That's completely false. This is the word given to a duel between 3 people. If you went for option C, a pangram is a sentence that contains every letter in the English language. That is 100% true. And final round, round 3, the troubling medieval body wash round. If you went for option A, gelatophobia is the fear of body wash and soap. That's false. It's actually a fear of laughter. I get a lot of laughs writing and listening to this show myself. If you're in for option B, a troubling is the name given to a group of goldfish. You've got that right, it's completely true. If you're in for option C, and I know I've got a lot of you playing live on this, an overmorrow is a medieval word to explain the end of the day when taxes should be paid. That's completely false. Whilst not commonly used anymore, it is a word used to name the day after tomorrow. Did you get any points, Groaners? I hope so. But if you didn't, try again next week when we play Double Down Dummies and give me the question and who, what, or where the hell am I? Speaking of next week, we'll see you then. Take care, Groaners. Bye-bye. Admin Nicole takes us now to the floor.